All right, we need to talk about something that's incredibly important if you're playing around with personal AI agents, setting them up securely. Because honestly, the way a lot of people are doing it right now, it's just a disaster waiting to happen.
Okay, let's just dive right into what's at stake here. This is not some theoretical, scary what-if. This is a direct quote from a developer explaining just how bad an insecure setup can get. Following that quick 5-minute YouTube guide could literally expose your entire digital life. And you might think, oh, this is just a niche problem for a few early adopters. No, we're talking about tens of thousands of these powerful AI bots currently running on insecure setups just wide open to the internet. This is a massive active vulnerability happening right now.
So how in the world did we get here? Well, it's what you could call the AI agent security trap. Everyone's in such a rush to use these incredible new open source tools that they're following flawed guides that value speed way over safety. And that creates this huge security blind spot, especially with popular tools like the one we're going to focus on, Claude Bot.
You know, a huge part of the problem starts with a really basic misunderstanding of what these tools even are. Claude Bot. It isn't the AI brain itself like a GPT or a Claude model. Think of it as the system that directs that brain. It's the conductor, not the orchestra.
And this really nails the distinction. You're not installing an all-powerful AI. You're installing a super powerful task manager that calls on an AI to do things for you. And giving that task manager the keys to your entire digital kingdom without understanding how it works, well, that's the first huge mistake. So let's take a look at how this powerful task manager, once you start hooking it up to all your personal apps and data, just becomes a total security nightmare. These right here, these are the classic traps people fall into. Running the agent on your main computer, that could give an attacker access to everything on that machine. Exposing your home network is basically like leaving your front door wide open with a sign that says, "Come on in." And connecting it to your main email and cloud accounts, you're just handing over the crown jewels. So here's the real paradox, right? The very thing that makes an AI agent so amazing, its ability to connect to all your tools and services, is also its single biggest weakness. Every single new skill you add, whether it's giving it access to your email or your calendar, is just another potential door for an attacker to walk through. I know, this all sounds pretty alarming, and it definitely raises the big question. Is it even possible to use this incredible power safely? And the answer is yes, absolutely, but it requires a totally different approach to how you set it up. So let's get into the solution. Instead of this flimsy, open setup that most people have, we need to build a digital fortress around your AI agent. And that's the perfect way to think about it. A layered, robust security model that we're about to walk through.
And here it is. This is our blueprint for that fortress. It's built on 4 distinct layers of defense, and we're going to break down each and every one.
Okay, layer 1, the foundation. The key word here is isolation. You never ever run the agent on your home computer. Instead, you put it on a cheap, disposable computer in the cloud, called a virtual private server, or a VPS. This completely separates it from your personal network and all your devices.
And the advantages here are just a no-brainer. A VPS isn't vulnerable if someone hacks your home Wi-Fi. It's physically secure in a real data center, safe from fires or floods. Plus, it costs less than a couple cups of coffee a month, which is way, way cheaper than buying a dedicated computer like a Mac Mini.
Okay, that brings us to our second layer, access. So our agent is on its own little island in the cloud. How do we talk to it? Well, not over the public internet, that's for sure. Instead, we create a private, encrypted tunnel using a VPN. Think of it like a secret underground passage that only your authorized devices can use to even see that the server exists. Layer 3 is all about reinforcing the server's own defenses. This means doing things like disabling the default root access, which is basically the all-powerful master key to the server, and forcing any administrative stuff to go through that secure VPN tunnel we just built. This one step alone prevents those brute force attacks where hackers just sit there trying to guess your password a million times. And our final layer is all about limiting what the agent can actually touch. This is what we call sandboxing. You never, and I mean never, connect the agent to your primary email, your main cloud drive, or any of your core personal accounts. Instead, you create separate, dedicated accounts just for the bot to play in. So, building the fortress, that's the first half of the battle. The second half is all about developing the smart habits you need to operate inside it safely every single day.
This really comes down to daily discipline. You create a bot-only email account, a bot-only Google Drive. And then, instead of letting it just read everything, you become the gatekeeper. You forward only specific, trusted emails or documents for it to work on. Oh, and it's absolutely critical to always put a cap on how much money it can spend using any connected API keys.
So why all this paranoia? Why all these extra accounts? It's because of this threat right here, prompt injection. This is when an attacker hides a malicious command inside a document, like an email. When your AI reads it, it gets tricked into following that hidden command, like, hey, email all my files to this random address. Sandboxing is pretty much your only real defense against that. So, look, we've built a fortress with 4 layers of defense. We've established smart habits for operating it. After all of that technical work, the question remains, what's the weakest link? It's almost always the person operating it. Your diligence, your attention, that's the final and most important layer of security.